In an industry when time is of the essence, when is it wise to use a splitter versus a saw? So after being in this industry for 40 plus years, I look back and I say, man, if I'd only had a splitter on this particular project as opposed to a saw, and vice versa. There's times I wished I had a saw instead of a splitter. I want to break this down to 3 different categories. 1, retaining walls. 2, large projects, say like driveways. And 3, pool patios when it comes to fitting up against your coping. So retaining wall block. This is an area that I've always loved a splitter for. And again, when you think back probably 25, 30 years ago, a lot of it was split face block. So we get on a job site and a lot of times we had to take a hammer, chisel, and split that block to be able to make a corner. And that was a real challenge. Then the manufacturers got clever and says, hey, we'll make your corners for you. However, they were manufactured at different times. And now all of a sudden we get on a job site, we go to take those corners off a pallet as opposed to our wall. Now sometimes you have a 16th, 3/16, and 1/8 inch difference when it comes to your corner. So you're doing a little bit of shimming, a little bit of trimming, maybe even grinding. So that gets to be really time consuming. I love using a splitter on my job site and making my own corners. I have to be a little bit choosy on which manufacturer product that I can use. But when it comes to making a corner, I'd much rather make my own corner made out of the same block that comes on the same pallet. That way there, my heights are always consistent around my retaining wall. I don't have to worry about the corners sagging off or the corners being too high. You can also split products in the wall. You have to be very careful on some of that, but a lot of times you can cut them on a little bit of back angle and then trim them up with a saw or even a grinding stone. So a lot of neat little tips and tricks, but it's a major time saver on your walls. Next area I want to talk about is large projects, say driveways. And that's an area where you could get away with a splitter. All the splitters have a flex plate that allows you to bend your paver down and then actually do an undercut, which allows you to have a nice crisp top surface when it butts up against your border stone, which I always recommend anyway. And as we know in our industry, you're supposed to have an 1/8 to 3/16 gap at least between your paver and your border. That's what those spacer bars are for. So when you're splitting, you can easily split a large driveway, all those products, and again, it's instant. It's a pop and you're done. You don't have all the dust, you're not putting on a mask, you're not worried about dustless technology. It's very quick, very efficient. Take the product out, split it, put it back in. Splitters were introduced in 1946, so they've been an incredible product for splitting stone, brick for years and years. And I think in our industry, it does have its place. So before I get into the last topic, I do want to talk about saws. Obviously, we're in an industry that has changed dramatically to almost in this elegant outdoor living. And that's really where a saw shines, because even on our own crews, we're not going to take a splitter into Mrs. Jones' backyard. We got all this intricate cutting, scribing up against boulders. We got these all irregular cuts and whatnot. That's where a saw really shines. And where there's attention to detail, nothing's going to take the place of a saw. However, a word of caution, make sure you're using dustless technology or cutting wet. I have asthma, and it's due to years and years of cutting concrete. So the last topic I want to talk about, and that's when cutting around a pool. And a lot of times I'm thinking of an irregular serpentine type of a pool setting where you have large format pavers now, which are most popular. So now you have this large product and you're starting to lay up against your pool coping and you're supposed to cut this border in. So a lot of times we would take our saws and we would pre-cut the product just to set it in a little bit long, and then we'd scribe up against that coping to be able to cut it the final cut. This is an area that we save tremendous amount of time just having a splitter in there, just pop. You can set the product in there, then you can scribe up against it. You want to talk about a time saver. This was an amazing advantage for us to be able to use our splitters on jobs like this, and it increased productivity unbelievable. I want to talk a little bit about the European market. When you talk about square footage of pavers compared to population of US, and you take areas in Europe where the splitters were developed, it's amazing what they do over there with those splitters. The cutting, the fitting, and how intricate they can get with a splitter with someone that's a real craftsman. It really is amazing. And you have literally no dust. It's fast, it's efficient. Like I said, these splitters date back to 1946, and it is amazing how efficient contractors have become in the European market. So just in review, remember, doing retaining walls, a splitter is definitely going to be the tool of choice. When you go into large projects, say driveways and whatnot, you can consider a splitter. It might be an option for your job site to reduce dust, speed up production. And lastly, pool coping, no questions asked. You want to use a splitter when you're installing large format pavers up against a serpentine pool. It's going to save you a ton of time. I hope you found this tip of the week useful. Remember, if you want more information, click on the links below. Our dealer market is growing vastly. We got a lot of great partners out there that carry our product line that you can check out in person. And if you want to learn more about the splitters, be sure to click the video on the screen, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you're still here, click the video on the screen. That's what most contractors watch next. Look forward to seeing you next Friday for our tip of the week.